Alrighty then. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are minions. Hey, Camel. I was about to say.
Are you sure about that?
I was gonna say Sanguine, but he's not here.
Wow. Refocus. Try again.
Yeah, Hey, Camel's over there.
Hello.
And joining us are Dax, Ryan.
I guess I'm here. I'm not Sanguine.
And Travis Gardner.
Yeah, I'm here.
And that's not a shot at Sanguine, by the way. It's just,
No. Sanguine
I'm
is
glad I was recognized as me.
having some fun
He's
time.
doing some gameage right now because Johnny decided to go like an hour early. So,
Damn it, Johnny.
and how's it going, Talik and Tyr? What's up, Terry?
I'm all over the place. It's crazy.
So, Johnny, how are the twins doing?
Gross.
They are working as a cohesive unit. Nothing.
Nothing there,
Oh,
Dax?
yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to, but it's just so... it's low-hanging fruit.
No, I was I went to the bathroom and I lost my two freshest sterile bandages, so I had to improvise and use something from a first aid kit. But yeah, other than that, slight pain, but everything's pretty good. Valium is
Yay.
awesome.
Valium is awesome. Words of wisdom, folks.
I think it's hilarious that you had to get drugged up before that.
Yeah, you should have gone in like a man. It's only when they're
It's
done.
a shot
with
of
it.
whiskey and a leather strap to bite down on.
Oh well, the I'm glad you brought this up because when I went in there, and I have told Camel this already, and I am in the fact that I'm bringing this up again.
Is the chat fully informed as to what we're discussing here?
I mean, they'll figure it out.
Okay, well I'll start Teal Deer from the beginning.
This is the internet, Dax. I mean, context clues get missed all the time.
Yeah.
We have smarter people in our collective than that, I think.
So I went in for vasectomy. I was supposed to go in October. And then I go in because they're like, okay, you call in, we're going to do the consultation, the procedure, and then the aftercare, bing, bang, boom, it's going to be done. And I thought it was weird, but, I mean, it's not unheard of. So I'm thinking, okay, we'll get this done, get it over with. Wife will be happy, that'll be fine. So I show up for the consultation procedure, all that jazz. And the guy who scheduled it, who is taking me in as a patient, he goes, well, we're going to have to reschedule the procedure. And I go, no, we're not, because you said it was going to be today. And he goes, yeah, well, he usually does that, but we're still going to have to reschedule that because it's, he's not going to do that today. And I'm like, all right. And I'm just like, I am seething in this guy's, like, if he were to say the wrong thing now, it would be a hate crime. I would lose my collective shit on this guy. And so we get through the consultation. He's like, okay, we'll have this scheduled for November 9th. Okay. Can do that. I'm finally calmed. Doctor does his consultation shit. And I sign my consent form for potentially being put under, as well as for taking the Valium beforehand. And so, a month passes, and it is now November 9th, and I go in, and they're like, okay, so you have your appointment set for 2:30. Okay. How long ago did you take the Valium? And I go, what Valium? And she goes, the Valium you were given at your consultation. We gave you the script, and you were supposed to go pick it up. And I go, I was never given a script for Valium. I was told about it, but I was never given it. Oh, well, when they do the consultation, they give you the script. Oh, I understand what you're saying. I just was never given the script. And so she goes, oh, and then looks at her computer, and I'm like, and now you're going to tell me we have to reschedule this. And she goes, yeah. And I just stopped talking. My wife is over in the corner of the waiting room. She's now pissed off, and she doesn't get pissed off at anything. I am losing my mind. And I'm like, I have rescheduled this thing 3 times already. It was supposed to be done in September or October. One of the two. And that one didn't work out. And now you're telling me that after all this bullshit, I have to reschedule this thing again? And she goes, well, let me talk to one of the nurses back here, blah, 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 blah. So she runs back, and they're like, we got to do something about this guy.
He's going to kill us.
It's going to be Oklahoma all over again.
They're going to call you Timothy McVeigh 2.0.
Well, not Timothy McVeigh. What's that guy's name, Camel?
I don't remember the guy's name, just that he shot up St. Francis.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm talking about blowing up a hospital. That's much more fun.
So they were able to actually compromise and get me a Valium that was at the pharmacy at the clinic. And so they were able to get me in yesterday. And I'm like, that is much better. Because I cannot reschedule this. Because this is when my insurance has met my out-of-pocket. So everything's going to be paid for. And I'm like, and you're going to be fucking around and telling me this shit? No, that's not how it's working. That's not how this is going. So we're like, okay, we'll get you in here. It'll push back the appointment a little bit, but, at least we can get you done. I'm like, that works with me. So they gave me the Valium. And I asked the doctor, I'm like, okay, how long is this going to take before the Valium hits? And he goes, it should be about 10 to 15 minutes, up to an hour. If it takes an hour, something's going on. And I go, okay. And within 10 minutes, I'm like slurring and dragging myself up against the wall. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, no, Valium's good. We're good here.
It's working. I'm so happy for you.
And so, yeah, I went in, stab, climp.
Stab, climp.
Yeah.
You talk so nonchalantly about the boys taking a permanent vacation.
What got me was like he said something about they should have given you the Valium. I was like, what Valium? What? I didn't get a Valium.
Yeah, I don't know the process.
I didn't get any kind of fun drugs until after they had already done the slash and burn.
Of course.
Don't they need you to be like cohesive? So you say, yeah, something feels really wrong here.
Of course, they didn't burn mine either, so they put the clamp on there.
Oh yeah, man! Like, yeah, they cauterized the vas deferens on me, and that was kind of weird because like they got the shaving done, and then local anesthetic, bam, give that a couple minutes, and they make the incision, and he's like, all right, usually the way it works is the right one doesn't bother anybody, but when I go to clamp off the left one, that's usually the one that causes people pain for some reason.
It was complete opposite for me too.
And I was like, okay, he's like, so, like, I'm about to go ahead and do this thing. Like, do you want to count down? I was like, no.
I even told the doctor, I'm like, there's 3 things I want from you. Okay, we're starting. Okay, we're halfway through. Okay, we're done. That's it. That is all I want to hear from you.
But yeah, he's like, so you want to count it? No, man. I don't want to know anything's going on at all. I just want to stare at the ceiling tile, and you tell me when it's done.
I don't.
Ceiling, close my eyes.
And
I guess I'm different. I mean, I'm paying for it. I kind of want to see what they're doing.
No.
I do not have that much interest in my own balls being stabbed.
He goes and clamps off the right one, and that it felt like the strongest punch in the gut I've ever received in my life.
I mean, that wasn't your gut though.
Just all the air just went right at him. He's like, you okay? I'm like, I don't know.
Like that stomach cramp from getting kicked in the nuts. That still has that feeling still there.
But yeah, and then he went to go ahead and, like I said, cauterize him, and all of a sudden it's like, you guys got a bug zapper in here or something?
Who's cooking?
Smells kind of good. Can I get some of that?
But yeah, I can say that I've literally smelt burning human flesh now, and it was me.
This is your own Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh man,
yeah, but I mean, it was worth it to never be on Maury, so.
You could still go on more even if you couldn't. You just don't tell them you had the vasect, and all of a sudden you show up, you're like, yeah, so there's no way that could be
not
right.
the father. That baby don't look like me. That baby don't look like me.
He's got your hat.
I don't know. I find it surgical, any of that kind of interesting. I even have we should have a watch party of my appendectomy. I have the CD around here, the DVD around here somewhere.
You are a morbid little creature. I approve.
Well, I'm not morbid. I don't care about. I'm not dead.
Can they show that?
It's a medical procedure, so I guess if you put up the right warnings, you probably can get away with it.
I mean, probably not on stream, but I don't think he was talking about on stream. Maybe just like a watch party, like in Discord or something.
And I don't know. I had to. They let me see what was going on during one of my root canals.
Huh?
Oh yeah, I watched one of my root canals.
Yeah, dental.
With like a mirror or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem to be that much of effect if it's me. Somebody else, no. I'm no.
So Johnny, was I correct? Did they give you like that boot camp shave? Just a zip, you're done?
Yeah, it was. They did a couple of flybys.
That brush tickles, don't it?
Not entirely. But like I said, I'm not all that hairy down there, so it didn't really hurt. So but subtlety is not his name.
Yeah, I forgot to shave, and the nurse who ended up doing that, she acted like she was late to catch a bus, man. Just, you know.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I was just reading in here on the chat and tier, and I was knocked out for having 3 of my wisdom teeth removed.
For my wisdom teeth, like my only experience with wisdom teeth prior to actually having my own pulled was my sister having hers pulled, and she had an allergic reaction to the anesthesia, and so they end up having to like do hers with like local anesthesia. And so, like, she was openly sobbing by the end of the thing, to the point where they had to put an IV in her so that she can rehydrate, because she was sobbing so much.
See, with the Indians, like, that's all you get are locals for, like, dentistry or whatnot. And, I had one tooth pulled back in the day, and I was like, you guys just put me out, all right? Like, it'll be best for all of us, okay? Like, well, we can't do that. Well, local anesthetic works. Like, no, it won't. Like, yeah, I mean, we do this all the time. It's our job. Like, we know what we're doing. I was like, okay, but you don't know me. I was like, whatever you plan on using, double it, and we'll start there. Yeah, I nearly broke a nurse's hand because they didn't want to listen.
Out of all of my surgeries, the wisdom teeth was actually the least, was like the most bothersome. It just not being able to eat, everything hurts. I hated that. The weird thing was, when I had my appendix out, like, when I was about 2 hours after they're like, oh, well, you want dinner? I'm like, yeah. It's like, so what do you want for dinner? It's like, well, what can I have? And they're like, whatever you want. Like, seriously. It's like, yeah, there's no limitations.
I just remember, like, with all the locals they pumped into me, I ended up looking like a stroke victim when I left. Just one side of my face is drooping and drool coming out, and good luck trying to get a drink of anything. Or it was real fun trying to smoke a cigarette, like, right out of the corner of the other side of my mouth. It takes like 4 or 5 hours for all that shit to finally wear off. And by then you're starving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like because it takes a while for me to get that to work. They don't want to give it enough time, so they just keep shooting it in there until it's like, okay, finally we're numb enough that we can work on you. And stuff peaks afterwards. It didn't last forever. I hate it. I always seem to bite my tongue.
Yeah, that's it.
And Terry said I should have ran for senator in that state. Just looking like a stroke victim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could have went for the House. Wait, was I 25 at that point? I think I was too young for the House even. Because you got to be 25 to be a congressman. You got to be 35 to be a senator. Oh man, what do you think? I mean, I could write myself in for both senator and president in 2024, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you just get your name put on the ballot.
I'm just going to write myself in for everything. I'm surely better than anything that either of the parties could produce.
They rejected my ballot was rejected, and it was a conspiracy.
I didn't even bother voting this time around. I mean, I pretty well knew, you know, this is Oklahoma. It's going red.
Oh man, and boy did it ever. I think we have like 18 Democrats still left in both houses.
Oh, in the legislature?
Yeah. Most of the Republicans ran unopposed.
Oh man, I could definitely get in Congress then. Shit.
And there was that like hour there where Hoffmeister, the Democrat, was leading for governor. Then all of a sudden it's like, the rule vote's in. Bam, she's out. So,
Man, my Cowboys just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
which ones?
Oklahoma State.
Oh,
I don't give a shit about Dallas. But yeah, apparently OSU men's basketball lost a 1-point game to Southern Illinois.
I gotta say, that's the only sport that I miss playing in, middle school. But I never made the high school team.
If I had not tried to play football my freshman year of high school, I probably would have played basketball all through high school. But all the weightlifting and everything from football, from training camp through the season, by the time I got done with practice for football, I was just dog tired, and I didn't keep up with my shooting practice for basketball. So by the time basketball season rolled around, I lost my shot, man. Didn't get it back to like the end of the season.
He wants to know early stream?
Yes. Johnny started about 45 minutes earlier than the normal start time.
I'm a wild card.
Yeah, wild.
I mean, I don't know if there are any now tier, but there have been. There have been engines in the NBA. One of them actually played for OU in college.
OU.
Yep.
I caught it.
I did too.
oh.
I mean, it was kind of a softball pitch, so if you didn't.
But no, I haven't kept track. I haven't kept track of any of the pro sports since college days. Really, maybe a little after that. Definitely not since like 2010.
The only one that interests me in the least is, or at the most, is it? Oh, whatever. The only one that interests me is the Thunder, and it's because they're like right down there.
Yeah, for me, it's Oklahoma State football. Occasionally, I'll catch the scores for like the basketball team because I listen to it on the radio. My local classic rock station, they play OSU football and basketball, and I hate basketball season because games will pop up, just about any day of the week. No warning. You be sitting there jamming out, driving around doing errands, whatever, working around the house, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden they start talking basketball. It's like I don't want to listen to this right now. I want to listen to my golden oldies. Whereas football, it's pretty much Saturdays. That's about it.
Yeah.
OSU does have a hockey team. I don't really watch the ice soccer, but I do appreciate them, having fisticuffs. So they get props for that.
I would be with the Penguins on that one.
What?
Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how Oklahoma State has a hockey team.
OU and OSU both have hockey teams. Yeah, wild, isn't it?
I
Florida has a hockey team. It's not.
I mean, yeah. We actually have ice from time to time in Oklahoma, at least. Those damn Floridians and Californians. What's their excuse?
San Jose.
I'm just trying to figure out where they practice. Oh yeah, there's the old. There is like 2 ice rinks here.
I don't know where OSU, where they do their hockey. I mean, do they do that in Gallagher, Iowa? I know they do like basketball, volleyball, I think wrestling. That's all done at Gallagher, Iowa, but I have no clue about the hockey teams. I literally just found out about both the universities having hockey teams like a week ago. One of the OSU fan accounts that I follow on Twitter, they posted a clip from, I guess, a Bedlam game between OU and OSU.
Oh, why is that not more of a thing? Because Bedlam hockey? What?
Yeah.
Why are we not?
I'll go watch that.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like I like to go watch the football games when I have the chance. I'd go watch a hockey match between OU and OSU.
Hey, Tier. Guess who is he's a Standing Rock Sioux. Kyrie Irving.
What?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, like card carrying, or just way back?
As far as I know, he's got lineage is what it's saying. I find it hilarious that the Black Hebrew Israelite is part native.
We were Braves and shit.
It cracks me up.
I've not kept track of the whole Kyrie Irving thing. Are you guys aware of his situation?
I don't even know who that is.
I know who he is and stuff, and that's about all I know.
Kyrie Irving is a basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets. It still feels weird to me to say Brooklyn Nets. Growing up, it was the New Jersey Nets. So, but yeah, he's a shooting guard, small forward for the Nets, and he tweeted out a link to a did they call it a documentary? And I'm doing like the rabbit ears, documentary. It was one of those Black Hebrew Israelites, we're the real Jews, those Jews are fakes, what have you. And everyone got mad at him because he just tweeted out the link. He didn't say anything, just tweeted out the link. And everyone just threw shit at him for it. But no one really got mad that Amazon was making money off of it. And so, he's been fined. He got suspended for 5 games. He has to donate $500,000 to Jewish organizations.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys aren't really helping your case,
Yeah, I mean, there was a comedian that brought that up. It's like,
well, it's like with the Kanye thing. It's like, he's like, Jews control the media and banks and everything is like, and then was it Bank of America or whatever was going through? Like, guess what? You can't bank with us anymore. And it's like, kind of steering into the stereotype, ain't you? I mean, like, maybe don't do that.
Like, we're offended. Why are you offended? Violation of terms of service.
And I mean, saying Jews control the media, Jews control the banks. It's like, is that really a bad thing? All I hear when people say that is, yeah, Jews are successful. Good for them. Just gonna leave me hanging on that one, huh, guys? Okay.
I mean, we don't want to be forever slept.
Yeah, there's. I just went to Wikipedia because I figured they'd have a list. Let's see, Ron Baker, who played for the New York Nets. Let's see.
What kind of list is this?
Native American basketball players.
Oh, okay.
It's an Aryan list.
It's a very
short list.
Yeah, it is. Let's see here. Sandy Cohen, who looks like he played for...
Wait. Native American?
Yeah.
Cohen?
Yep. The third.
I'm calling shenanigans, sir.
American Israeli Premier League. I don't... Okay, I'm intrigued as to why he's on this list.
Premier League? Are we still talking basketball?
Yeah. Picture of him on the basketball court.
Is it in black and white?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Now you have my attention.
Doesn't actually mention him being Native American.
You know who is Native American? That is listed on Wikipedia? Judge Joe Brown.
Is he native?
He is Choctaw.
Huh.
Yeah. Judge Joe Brown's one of my people.
Let's see. We're going to put an asterisk there because I don't believe it. Let's see. Phil Jordan.
None of these sound like especially native names.
Yeah. And it's Wikipedia, so I didn't take that for what you would. But yeah, this one I believe, the entire Fort Shaw Indian School girls basketball team. And that's all it shows. It's like we have all these people and then just that entire team over there. And this picture is from 1904. Oh, God. Oh, I love it. That's so stupid.
No, like, I could have swore, like, Eduardo Nahara was part native, and he played at Oklahoma before going on to the NBA. So,
let's see.
Which he had a pretty long career. I mean, by professional athletic standards.
For being 6'8", yeah, I'd say so.
Hey, Eddie, how's it going?
Hey, Eddie.
So, I got a little bit of Oklahoma news, courtesy of Okie Native.
What you got for us?
Well, there's a story out of Carter County, which is close to the Texas border, about the Carter County Jail. And, well, hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah. In the attorney's, like, visiting room at the Carter County Jail, there was a camera in one of the light fixtures. Like, you can even see, like, the wires that were going to it and everything.
Huh.
I'll drop the link in the side chat for you guys if you want to check this out.
That tracks for Carter County. That's it's like the
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's going on in Ardmore? You know, that's it's not good. And here's the thing. Apparently, this was supposed to be for one particular case. This was found by a defense attorney, by the way. So, yeah, he was shocked. But apparently there was a case back in 2002 where they were trying to get this attorney who was representing her son and was trying to help him plan an escape from the jail. And
Forgot we left it in there, we swear.
yeah. We've changed light bulbs multiple times in the past 2 decades, but we forgot all about the camera.
Still drawing power, going someplace.
So yeah. They're talking about, like, you know, violating what was it Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Wow. That's
They're going to turn over a lot of cases.
That's
Well, what's funny is, like, they asked the current sheriff about it. He's like, that was 4 administrations ago. I have no idea, you know.
It's probably true.
Like, he's like, I had to ask, like, the most senior of our investigators, you know, because I guess he was around back then, and that's how he found out about the attorney that they were trying to bust. And apparently they did, because what did she? Yeah, after discussing this discovery with my most tenured investigator, he recalled that a former sheriff in 2002 had authorized a recording device to be placed in a light fixture for the limited purpose of a single investigation that led to the arrest and conviction of an attorney, Twana Charisse Smith, for smuggling contraband into the room to provide to her client/son, convicted murderer of Heather Rich and prison escapee Josh Bagwell, to aid in a planned escape from the Carter County Jail. Smith was charged on March 26, 2002, of felony carrying into jail things to aid escape. She originally allegedly snuck in a hacksaw blade so that he could try to, and this is a quote, I guess, cut his way through the bars to get out of jail. Yeah.
What a genius is.
Like, nobody's gonna hear a hacksaw trying to cut through a fucking, like, steel bar. Those things don't make any sound at all.
what you doing in there?
Other inmates would stab
Nothing.
him.
It wouldn't even be a shh. It'd be more of a scrape. Like, why didn't you just, like, you know, bake a file into a cake for him? My God, lady, what were you thinking?
one of the
And this was back in 2002, before they had, like, all the video conferencing into, you know, from jail into the courthouses. Like, you could have easily just planned to, like, you know, nab him, you know, on the way to court. Would have been a lot easier for you.
You know, one of the interesting things here is that we're getting a new jail here because ours, even though it's only 25 years old, is almost condemned. When they first built it, they put in, because it was so many stories up, they just put in glass blocks instead of any kind of bars or protectives. Like, well, nobody's going to break out there. It's like it's 5 stories up. 20 days after the new jail was open, somebody just kicked those glass blocks out of their cell, and they did the whole climb down the side of the jail using bed sheets as rope.
That's amazing.
And And that was the first time, and then it's happened to multiple times. So now,
I just sent Sanguine the link to the story. He's like, I'm nearly done, and I meant to send him the link to the StreamYard.
well,
So what are you telling Sanguine? Huh?
He just messaged back. He's like, that's not good. I'm like, what? Huh?
well, no, it's a little bit more sophisticated, and I thought that Carter County would be able to cook up.
I try to stay out of Ardmore. Like, I've only been there, a few times. Not impressed. So, I'm sure their jail is probably on par with the rest of the city.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of surprised it wasn't like a sombrero with a lens sticking through it.
Why is there a sleeping Mexican in the corner while I'm trying to talk to my client? Oh, don't mind him.
Oh, that's just Sleepy Carl.
Sleepy Carlos, yeah.
Oh, so sleepy.
He's taking a little siesta.
Yeah, I'm kind of dumbfounded because on one hand that's absolutely fucking horrible, and number two, like I said, it's a little bit more ingenious than I thought they would be up to.
I just imagine like the sheriff and the deputies like patting each other on the back if they got this, attorney, dead to rights, and like, I feel like we're forgetting something. We're forgetting something. Nah, we got everything. We're good. We took everything, right? Yeah.
I wonder if it was
20
still
years
recording.
later.
Is it hooked up to something digital? Was it like VHS? I want to see what the last thing recorded was.
Well, like, I mean, if you look at the story, like, it shows, like, because the camera was in a, they'd taken a screw out of the fixture, and that's where the lens was coming through, and you can even see the wires, underneath the lights, where the power source was connected. And nobody thought, it's like, hey, maybe we should go ahead and take that down now that we're done with it.
Probably wired into somebody's Betamax in the basement.
I mean, Tier's asking, isn't it against ethics to represent your offspring in a criminal case? I mean, I don't think anybody would suggest that you represent family members or close friends or something like that. But I don't think there's any kind of ethics violation in going forward with that course of action.
Well, it was not until this year that it made it illegal for prosecutors to be married to judges presiding over cases that they're handling.
Oh, that's, I mean, the idea that we needed a law to say that in the first place is a little sad, because that should be a no-brainer. It's like, hey, you're literally fucking the judge. How am I supposed to get a fair trial here? So,
I can be impartial, I swear. He was a good boy. He took took the trash out, did the laundry yesterday. I trust him.
but I'm not surprised that we had to actually put that on the books at some point. So,
yeah, and it's the current year.
No, Sanguine, he's gonna pop in at some point, and we're gonna have to talk about the food porn. So I'll go ahead and get mine out of the way first. I actually cooked something tonight. I made burgers. And you know what? They were tasty.
Good.
I didn't do anything fancy, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, let them cook, just enough to where they were cooked through, but not, start getting dry or anything like that. They're nice and juicy, and Camel did good.
Good job, Camel.
Only problem was it came in like a 4-pack, and so I ended up having 2 of them. The girlfriend, she only wanted 1. I was like, you know what? I already know what I'm going to make tomorrow, and I don't want to have burgers 2 days in a row. I was like, hey, Elvira. So yeah, the bulldog, she got to have her a burger too, and she really gave the seal of approval. She licked that bowl completely clean.
You talking about your pet, I had to see if Chonk was here, and she's not feeling well.
Oh, mine, she had surgery last week to remove a lump from her shoulder. And so she's running around with a bunch of staples going from her neck to, past her shoulder joint. And she's been doing pretty well with, making sure taking her meds, and I got to put an ointment on the wound site. Only problem with that is she likes to go out in the backyard and try and roll around and just rub that shit right off. It's like, all right, I don't need you getting that dirty, and I really don't need you pulling your staples out because you're trying to scratch your back. So my neighbors, probably think I'm abusing my dog because they just hear me yelling, no, and probably looks like I'm kicking her. But I'm just nudging her with my foot, and hey, what's up, Sanguine? You're coming in really quiet and a little garbled. You want to try that again?
Let me make sure that the right mic
there we go.
is being selected.
There we go. Loud and clear now.
Okay. It might have been in the middle of making sure that it was going to the right mic.
Well, I already did my my food porn discussion for the night. If you want to go ahead and do yours.
Oh, I'm trying to decide which of the potential dinners I'm going to have for this evening. I think I'm going to end up going with the lovely salmon that I have. I have some fresh dill, so I'm going to cut that, kind of paste it with a bit of garlic, slather that on the salmon, then toss that into a nice hot pan, and then I'm going to make, let's see, with that, I might do a sautéed pasta with some dill as well. Or I could do potatoes with dill. And I haven't decided which.
Okay. I just want an opinion here while we're talking about food.
Okay.
Okay. People that put leftovers in their refrigerator uncovered, is that disgusting to y'all?
What's
Yes.
leftover?
Yeah, it depends on the leftover, and it depends on how long they're leaving it in there uncovered. Because if I have something that I'm going to be refrigerating, but it's still rather hot, so if I put it in a container and I put a lid on, it would end up steaming in the container. Then what I'll do is I'll put it in the refrigerator with the lid off, let it cool down entirely, and then screw on the lid.
I'm talking about those are my bowls of hamburger meat from Sunday.
Like,
Oh, if it's
Uncooked.
meat, you can put it in a refrigerator without any problem. Uncovered. In fact, that's what you do for certain methods of preparing your food. Like, I have dry brining meat that I leave completely uncovered. That way air can get to it quite often.
Because I've run into that a lot more than I want. And I have to clear out everything that's in the refrigerator. It's like, oh, I didn't know you had to. I had to take everything out of the refrigerator. And I'm like, yeah, we're fixing it. I don't understand why there's something in here because it isn't refrigerating. And they're like, well, it feels somewhat cold, so I used the laser thermometer on it. Like, oh, it's 58 degrees.
Yeah, if it's not actually refrigerating, then yeah, that's where the gross part can come in. But if it's still refrigerating enough, then yeah, like I said, dry brining meat, you sprinkle salt on it, you put it on a cooling rack on a baking tray, and you leave it open to the air.
Yeah, and also these are not they're not doing the level of cooking that you are too. So
yeah.
And most of the time when I'm going to see somebody's refrigerator, it's not refrigerating.
Yep. Yeah, that's the part where I would agree that becomes a bit. You might want to throw that shit out. But if it's just in a functional refrigerator and it's uncovered, yeah, there's a lot of things that I would do that for.
I'm sitting here trying to find this. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's a little older than I thought it was. All right.
Ooh, that's what I'll do. I'm going to do the salmon, and I'm going to do it with some gnocchi. Some gnocchi, some dill, a little bit of cheese. That'll be some good shit there.
Huh.
Ooh, or... Okay, question. Should I go for some turkey tonight, or should I go for some salmon tonight?
Salmon.
Salmon.
Because the salmon I'll be doing with the sauteed gnocchi and a bit of dill, which will be delicious. So I'll do that.
But yeah, it's been an interesting week. My new company I work for, we do nothing but we're the ones I'm doing now. The one, not what I was, but what I'm doing now is mostly the high-end appliances.
Ah.
So I'm getting to see a lot of Viking, a lot of Thermidor, and Sub-Zero.
Nice.
Yeah. Same problems as the cheap stuff. It's just more expensive.
Yep. And probably the service cost goes up a little bit as well because you're dealing with people that are able to spend that little bit more and also probably don't have quite as much of an inclination to care about how much money's actually worth?
Oh, the last call today was replacing a ice maker in a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and the quote was $700.
Okay.
And the guy's like, "Oh, you take cash?"
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
I believe the term is cha and ching.
Would you also like to give a tip? Because I'll take that too. Fuck it.
I had that happened to us on that happened to us yesterday. Somebody's like, if you can get my washing machine up and running today, I'll give you both $50. We're sitting out in the van trying to call around trying to find a washer pump for a melee. I can't even pronounce it. Some Italian.
If it's MELEE, melee.
Yeah, probably.
I used to get offered tips all the time when I was working at the appliance store.
I was really worried what you were about to say.
Working on the street.
Yeah. Different sort of tip, that one, though.
So, I found a Post article that I'd like to get y'all's opinions on. I think I have an idea, but just want to confirm.
That's fine.
I'll go ahead and drop that in the side chat.
I gotta read.
And I'll go ahead and put that in the
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I read
regular
this when it
chat.
first came out.
I just, when I read it, I was like, you know what? I wonder what happened if you reversed it, With the New York Post writing an article about a dude having, 11 kids by 8 baby mamas.
For the love of fucking God, stop
Awesome.
procreating with this whore.
I'll be
Oh
right
my
back.
God, these pictures.
Yeah, all the cake down stuff makes her look so gross.
Yeah.
You don't even look real.
She doesn't. And she also looks kind of mannish when she puts all that stuff on.
Well, we know she's not, so.
Well, indeed.
But no, that one of the pictures in here just looks. It's like, wow, you really pushed those filters.
Well, like the picture on the left, she looks somewhat decent. You get to the
Yeah.
right, and it's just like, what the fuck did you do?
She has to try harder and harder.
If I only had one baby daddy and he happened to leave or die, my kids would be fatherless. But with 8 and 3 were to leave or die, my kids would still have 5 dads. No. Some of your kids would have a dad. 1 each. You don't
And-
get to crowdsource these 8 men as these are your children's 8 fathers. No.
I get to correct Sanguine on math here for a second. Because there are 11 kids, but 8 dads. So that means some of them actually have the same father.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That at most, you have each kid has a father in that situation.
Once is a mistake, twice is a choice. After that, it's a habit.
Not
I'm sorry.
necessarily that they have their own a father, but they have a father.
I wish I knew how old this chick was, because she says later in the article she's shooting to have 30. She wants to have 19 more kids.
Yep.
She was so preoccupied with whether she could, she didn't stop to think if she should.
Yeah, she's probably in her 20s.
She
Well,
finds
Johnny.
fathers on Craigslist.
Johnny.
Thoughts find a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. And then apparently, Madonna is so starved for attention she is drinking water out of a dog bowl now. And she
Is
looks like a
anyone
goddamn alien with all that
She's reached for
surgery and whatnot.
So, when are we going live?
We are live. We've been
Oh,
live.
we are live? Shit, okay. I thought this was the pre-chat bullshit.
Oh no!
No, Johnny pulled the trigger early tonight, and that's why we've got Dax and Travis here, because you were gaming. So seriously though, she looks like a fucking Roswell alien, man. Like, you get rid of her hair, and she's gonna look like a gray.
Yep. Yeah. And again, stop breeding with this woman. Why the fuck are you breeding with this woman?
Oh no! See, I'd already started talking about Madonna.
Same thing there.
Oh,
it's the
Stop
same
breathing.
thing.
well, I don't think you have to worry about that now. She's in her 60s.
I'm willing to bet that bitch froze eggs.
Oh, this was on that article too.
Ooh. Incinerated an iron vat? That
Wait.
doesn't sound good.
Oh, yeah, the caterpillar worker.
Yeah. Immediately incinerated. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess, at least he didn't feel any pain,
I was
right?
gonna say, yeah, if you're going out, that's the way to do it.
I prefer my...
Guessing he fell into one of the massive crucibles in the steel mill or something.
It just says immediately incinerated in a vat of iron on his 9th day on the job. So
Wow.
like, he tried to pull a Terminator 2, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, like I said.
Do you think he had time to give the thumbs up before he just completely went up in smoke?
If he didn't, it was a wasted death.
It was screaming pain. Because when they say immediately incinerated, it means that they couldn't do anything to stop it, I think. Because, yeah, it would not be immediate incineration. It would be the parts of your body that go into it. Yeah, they're immediately fucked. But you're still going into it.
11-foot deep pot of molten iron heated to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
I gotta say,
Yep.
going with I don't know if you were aiming for it, but Talek, but I went with the Mortal Kombat toasty.
Nice.
And then
I wanna know how you
the
fell
Wilhelm
in.
scream works also. So that's
Mm-hmm.
Authorities claim that Caterpillar did not install federally required protective restraints or guardrails in the area where he was working. OSHA charged the company with a willful violation and proposed a fine. Okay, Price is right. I mean, Travis, you posted the link, so I'm holding you out of this one. How much do you guys think the fine was?
50,000.
that's how much.
500,000.
That's how I was gonna say.
You both saying 500,000?
He's saying 50.
Okay, yeah, Sanguine's 50. Dax is 500.
I'm lowballing the shit out of it.
I'll go. I'll go 100,000.
Johnny's close without going over. $145,027. I want to know what the $27 is for.
It's that new
That just seems like an
Filing fees.
odd number. Yeah.
That's lunch.
That's probably around. That's probably what some of their equipment goes for.
And
If so,
apparently,
what-
yeah, he's the second person that has died, apparently, at this location in 12 months. In December of
Wow.
last year, a 50-year-old worker was killed on the site after a fall from a significant height, as reported by the Peoria County Sheriff's Office.
So the thing that they had to have already determined then, or they're going to try to determine, is that it was actually the company that didn't install the rail. Because if they're able to prove that it was the workers that took the rail off, which has happened in a bunch of places, then the company won't pay shit.
Well, no, this is saying that they didn't install guard railing and they didn't have any, what did it say?
Harnesses.
Yeah, harnesses, protective equipment, protective restraints.
The thing is that there have been issues where companies have been accused of that before. And they're able to demonstrate that, no, we had that installed on this day by these contractors. And it turns out that the facility staff had removed it. So this happens a lot with guardrails on various bits of machinery, where workers will remove the finger guard on a table saw or the like.
Yeah,
because it gets in their way and they can do the job faster without it.
I gotta admit to being one of those, I guess you want to call me a scab or not, I was on the safety committee at a factory. I don't play around with that, with safety shit. They're there for a reason, and sometimes they are stupid and they are cumbersome. Overall, it's going to keep you alive. I don't see what the problem is.
Yep. But you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
people will go, yeah, we are supposed to push this through with this block of wood, but if we just push it through with our hand, it goes a lot faster. And then you start noticing that a lot of the people that advocate for push it through with a hand, they start having
And that's why he
10
became
fingers.
Three-Finger Jimmy.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, they take stuff off the hydraulic press all the time that got in their way. It's like, no, it's there to make sure your hand doesn't get crushed and forever implemented into whatever we're making today.
Yep.
Yeah, I never fuck around with the safety devices on table saws after watching Walk the Line.
Yep. I was slightly hoping that you were going to reference Shake Hands with Danger, to be perfectly honest, though. You guys have all seen Shake Hands with Danger, of course, right?
Yes.
Don't believe I have.
Okay, this is something that you need to look up tonight. You need to go watch the video, Shake Hands with Danger, and I believe Riff Tracks did a episode on Shake Hands with Danger.
I like Klaus, the German forklift driver.
Yes, Klaus is fantastic, but
One of my
Klaus was
favorites.
meant to be amusing.
It's still helpful, but yeah, it's funny as shit.
Yeah. Shake Hands with Danger is a legitimate safety video that just goes to the nth degree with a country soundtrack. It is strange. It is fantastic. Everyone loses their fucking hand.
It's not very long either, just so you know. Comparatively.
Yeah. It's effectively every scene starts with Shake Hand with Danger. Ba-da-ding-ding-ding. And then it goes into the little video. You see how the person loses their hand in this short skit, almost. And then it goes back to the same country singer who's now singing about whatever crippling they just received to the theme of Shake Hands with Danger.
Oh, I think I have seen this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
It is a classic for a fucking reason.
Honestly, it's probably pretty effective because you
Yeah.
remember that shit.
Yeah. And that's why I stand by my statement that every single safety video, no matter when it was filmed, needs to be gloriously 80s and 90s in its presentation. Because if it looks too modern, if it looks too slick, no one has weird fucking hair, no one has anything that you're just going, what the fuck is this? You aren't going to remember the safety video. It's just going to completely go out of your mind. You make it gloriously 80s, though, and suddenly you're remembering. Do you remember that weird fucking video that we watched? Looked like it was filmed on VHS, even though it was clear it was filmed last fucking year. And it had those over-the-top slasher movie effects on it. You suddenly start remembering. Oh yeah, that's what caused this person's hand to disappear in this video.
Oh yeah, people finally pay attention in the safety meetings.
Yeah. Every safety video needs to be gloriously 80s and 90s with slasher movie level gore. Because people will then pay attention to it and be going, what the? Oh my god, okay. It's kind of like, what was the one movie where the workplace gun? It had the workplace gun and the guy shot off his own foot. It was a horrible action movie. In the very beginning, it was the classic horrible revenge 80s action movie that then just went fucking weird because it looked like a Death Wish start, but then it went into a team-based revenge movie, and then each member of the team started dying off, and they died off in the same way every fucking time. They were also included in the same way every fucking time. It's the one where, like, the team is showing up to recruit someone. They get knocked on the head, tossed off a building. They land in a bush. They get back up. They karate fight everyone that just threw them off the building. And then the main team lead comes up and says, want to rejoin the team? And they're like, yeah. And they handshake, and then they walk off like nothing fucking happened, despite the guy just having been thrown off a goddamn building. And I'm trying to remember the name of this movie. It's going to drive me crazy. Let me pull up chat and see if anyone in chat is going, this is the movie.
Red Asphalt was a good one.
It's fantastic.
Effective. Completely stupid, though.
Oh, yeah.
On a similar vein, they had the difference between the civil defense films that we had here and the ones that they used in Britain. It's a stark difference.
Okay.
Madness.
I mean, they had ours are the duck and cover, and theirs is oh, by the way, this is how you deal with casualties after a nuclear attack.
Yep.
Tock.
And it has that eerie synthesizer music to it.
Yep. I really miss the weird videos like that of duck and cover and that fucking turtle.
Reefer Madness. That was. Oh my goodness. I had heard so much about it, and then they played it one night on one of the night shifts I was working. It was the AMC Classics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've never seen this before, but I've heard things. And I got 15 minutes in, and I'm like, I am so glued to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. They're so wrong, and it's just so good to watch.
It's fantastic how fucking wrong they are.
Like, I'm a huge hard drug person. But weed is nothing, guys. It's nothing. It smells bad, but it's nothing.
I miss the days. But, oh, man.
See, I've never got the appeal of, let me grab this plant, light one end of it on fire, and stick it in my mouth. So it's just never been something that's on my radar. Other people have used it. And I've always just gone, not for me. Not my thing. I like having complete mental faculty. Because the way that I've heard a lot of people describe it is it has that almost same mental slip as...
God damn it, I've been muted this whole time.
Oh.
Yes, you have.
Yep.
And there's tripod.
Yeah.
But it has that same mental slip as alcohol. And that is the part that I don't like.
I liked it because it put me to sleep. And it was very hard for me to get decent sleep when I was younger.
Oh.
But
Decent sleep, what's that?
anything more than 4 hours.
Well, apparently I'm stuck on that cycle of like 4 to 6 hours. Because there for a few days after Nana Camel, like I was just sleeping as just trying to catch up on lost time. And yeah, apparently you can sleep too much.
Oh, you got the oversleep migraine?
No, I got your spine has turned into a steel rod. Good luck trying to move.
Yep, that can also happen. The one that I ended up getting when I slept too much was I got the oversleep migraine.
Yeah, I've had those before. But it used to just be that, like, like, oh, you slept like 12 hours. Congratulations. Everything hurts, including your hair. And now it's just like, oh, my back, So yeah, if I sleep more than 6 hours now, like, I'm fucked for like half the day.
Yeah, you need to kind of go back to a normal schedule, and then you're able to sleep for a fair bit of time again. But if you sleep too long, that shit comes right back.
I think it's just, I'm getting prematurely old. So it's probably just going to be like, oh, guess what? 6 hours, that's all you get, tops.
Surprise.
Just take a couple naps, dude. You're not you're not sleeping the whole night through anymore. So I'm just waiting for the bladder to start kicking in. It's like, oh, guess what? It's 3 a.m. You need to piss.
Yep. That one, that sucks.
Like the hair started going gray, the eyes are not quite as sharp as they used to be. We're in the old man camel story arc now, guys.
See, I still have ridiculously sharp sight, but for me, I've been having small patches of gray ever since I was in like early 20s. I don't know why my hair started turning that early, but that's when it started for me.
I got kind of lucky. Like it waited till like my mid 30s, and it's just now starting to come in one side of the beard. Hasn't started off with like the actual hair on the top of my head yet, but I'm sure it's not too far behind. It's probably just right around the corner. But yeah, if like I said, man, more than 6 hours, and I'm fucked up for half a day. I'm just sitting there. I look like I have like Tourette's or something. I'm just sitting there trying to I'm throwing my head around, trying to crack my neck, and just swinging my shoulders like a tard, trying to crack my back. So I mean, unless I find somebody that's like unless I find somebody like 6'8" and like 300 pounds, like there's nobody cracking my back for me. I got to do that shit on my own.
That's one thing that I really wish that I could actually do. I have absolutely no ability to crack my back. I've tried so fucking hard in so many different ways. Never been able to crack my back. So if my back gets tight, I'm just fucked.
Dude, I have snapped, crackled, and popped like a Rice Krispie treat since like 7th grade. I mean, all the knuckles in my hands. I can pop my fucking toes. I can pop my nose.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah. Means that you have some cartilaginous slippage.
I got into my fair share of fights when I was younger, so I'm sure I broke
That
my
would
nose
also do it.
more than a couple times.
Yeah, I started getting like the aches and pains and like having problems like just trying to like change my center of gravity sometimes.
The worst one for me is the hips. Like I can't get into a car. Like it's got to be like an SUV, like minivan or a truck, because cars sit too low, and going to get in or out of those things, I always pop at least one of my hips, and those actually hurt. Like the back or the neck's like, oh, that felt nice, you know, like, oh, okay, that feels better. Like one of my hips pop, and I'm like dragging it like I broke my leg for the next few steps.
Yeah, see, I can crack my hands fairly easy. I can crack my knees fairly easy. But, like I said, my back does not fucking crack. The only way that I've found to crack my back is back when I was living in Northern Virginia. I had a friend that was about the same size as me. If he stepped onto my back, rocked up onto his toes, and then slammed down on his heels on the small of my back, that could get my back to crack. And that was all.
Well, I was always one of like the tallest people in my class, so there wasn't anybody really like big enough, you know, to crack my back for me. I had one buddy who tried. He was like a half a foot shorter than me, and you know, just sitting there, almost like he was giving me the Heimlich. I was like, "Are you trying to crack my back or my tailbone? What's going on here, dude?"
Yep. Yeah, like I said, it had to be that one friend standing on my back and then popping down on his heels in order to get my lower back to crack.
But it feels great when it actually does crack, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially when it's all out of sorts and you're getting kind of stiff, and then you're finally able to get that fucking crack, and it's just, oh!
Yeah, one of the things I've been doing to kind of keep my my back, if I lay on the hard floor for a little bit, it seems to adjust it out. I was putting a sump in somebody's dishwasher the other day, and I was laying on their floor. I'm like, this is some nice floor. I like this. And I was just, I all of a sudden realized I was just sprawled out on their floor in the kitchen.
Nice.
I'm like, what am I going to say when they come in here? But whatever, they're probably used to this shit by now.
Yeah, like I said, for me, the only way that I can get my back to crack is with a hell of a lot of force directly down on the small of my back.
You know, I wish I had enough money to have like one of those little Asian ladies walk on my back, see if that would help.
Yeah. I wish that I trusted which sort of massage place to go to in order not to have me show up for my first massage.
Cops bust in halfway through.
Cops bust in, and I'm suddenly having to go, holy shit, I just wanted my back popped. This is a raid.
Sure, buddy, we've heard that one before.
I'm here for the massage. That just happens when I get this undressed.
I've never had an actual like massage, so first time going out, it's like wearing like jeans and still have like my boots on, like, you know, like no, just the back, you know, from the waist up. That's all we're working with here. From the waist to the shoulders, that's all you got to do.
Adam, dude.
Nothing else. Don't even pay attention to anything fucking else. I don't want a goddamn raid.
When I had my first.
Is he talking to the wife?
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is,
Oh, okay.
and he's thinking that he had himself muted, I think.
No,
But yeah,
no, I didn't.
Okay,
She wanted me to mute.
You decide just to talk and make it
Hi,
sound like
Mrs.
you're whispering
Hellcat.
sweet nothings to chat?
Sweet nothings.
She says
I
hi.
want sweet nothings. Hello.
hola.
Hello.
And Tears ass and Sanguine was like, "You don't want a happy ending?" I don't understand why anybody would pay for a hand job, Tear. I mean, unless you don't have hands, in which case, okay, that's understandable.
It should be part of the included package.
But I mean-
Especially, I sure as shit don't want one when I'm just saying that I don't know if a place is gonna get fucking raided just because I went in to have a goddamn massage.
Well, my thinking on this Sanguine is there isn't a woman alive who can give you a hand job better than you can give yourself.
I mean, it depends on what your definition of a woman is.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
My grip strength exceeds my body weight.
I mean, you wanted to like rip your dick off like an orangutan or something?
No, I'm just saying that if it's a matter of anything like that, my fucking grip strength's probably better than anyone else in the game.
I don't get off unless I choke off the blood supplies.
But yeah, I've never understood why anybody would pay for a hand job. Just like, why? You know, makes no sense to me.
They busted a prostitution ring around here, and they said that one of the women was charging up to $600 an hour. And I was dumbfounded because I can't think of anything that's worth $600 an hour.
I mean, there better be like a donkey and ping pong balls involved for $600 an hour. I'm gonna want my money's worth.
I like how your money's worth immediately includes an animal.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. $600 an hour? Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna need bread and circuses for that.
It kind of makes me want to have another stimulus package.
No.
Uncle Sam's gonna buy us a donkey show.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a Greyhound to Tijuana right now for less than $600.
See, the thing is that when you said that you're going to want an entire show, the only thing that popped into my head was white girls fuck dogs.
I was thinking of Mr. Hands.
I'm surprised. Okay, Dax, Johnny, Clerks 2. I mean, we all on the same page here? Okay.
That I was the one who remembered white girls fuck dogs as a thing before the rest of you?
Well, that's a whole different animal, Sanguine. We were talking donkey shows here.
For Christ's sakes, why is it every time we go to bestiality, it's becoming a thing?
For the same reason that we go to cannibalism so often?
Yeah, to hear Kinky Kelly and the Stud. Yeah.
Kelly can be a guy's name too.
No.
Hey.
My question is, okay, which one is worse, the cannibalism talk or the bestiality talk?
Cannibalism.
Bestiality.
Cannibalistic bestiality.
I mean, I guess that just depends on which order you fuck it and eat it.
Yeah, that was going to be my question as well. Because to me, the part that's worse is the You're fucking something against its will? That's the fucked up part to me.
What about praying mantises? They're the embodiment of both.
Yeah, but they're insects, so they don't have a soul. Yeah.
And that's just in their nature.
Okay, I mean, see, I want to say bestiality because there would be times in survival situations
Yeah.
that, like, okay, you can go ahead and eat the guy, but there really isn't an excuse for you to fuck outside your species.
Thank you. I've said that before. That
Okay, no, wait, no. I got the end all be all discussion for this then. If a psychotic person has you in their complete control and says you have to either eat your recently deceased brother or you have to get fucked by a beagle, would you do that?
I'd eat my brother.
You'd eat your brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a bit of a cunt anyways.
Now, I had to get fucked by the beagle?
Yeah.
Not the other way around?
Well, bestiality didn't have to go just one way.
But yeah,
You got your Wisconsins and you got your Odysseans.
in the recently dead example, it's not going to inconvenience him any.
I'd still be worried about prions and whatnot.
Just avoid the brain, avoid the spinal cord, you're good to go.
But would the leftovers be properly encased in the refrigerator?
It depends. Am I dry brining them, or am I vacuum sealing them for longer storage?
I'm talking about dude just got killed right in front of you.
Yeah, and I stand by my... I would eat them.
You're a bunch of weird motherfuckers.
Yeah, I got another New York Post one here for you guys.
Have you not listened to me on the show before? The number of times that we've talked about cannibalism?
This one I saw compliments of Adonis Paul.
Oh, yeah. They just figured this out?
Sex could trigger life-threatening asthma attacks, study warns.
Get
Oh, yeah.
here.
Yeah, it does, because I've had that problem.
They're just trying to get us to not have sex anymore.
I'm trying to remember the one type of nut allergy, because there's one nut allergy that the allergen can be passed through nutting. If the person who is doing the nutting ate this one type of nut, and then nuts in someone with that nut allergy, the person can go into anaphylaxis. There's only one that it works that way, but there's one, and I find it fucking hilarious.
Many people don't realize that the energy expenditure of sexual activity is about equivalent to walking up 2 flights of stairs, said Dr. Ariel Leung, the study's author. I disagree because I fuck way harder than walking up 2 flights of stairs, okay?
They said the average. You have to remember, there's some one pump trucks.
No, they didn't say average. They said as about equivalent.
Oh, okay. I thought they said that on average.
No. Many people don't realize the energy expenditure of sexual activity is about equivalent to walking up 2 flights of stairs. I mean, how long are these flights of stairs? Because, like I said, man, no.
That doesn't actually make sense.
No.
Like, even just thinking about it, lets you do next to nothing while moving, like for moving during sex, so there's no way you're not expending more energy in sex.
I mean, maybe if you're a chick and you're just laying there, sure, but not my experience, no.
Not if you're the one that's actually having to perform.
Generally, like, you know, I need like a bottle of Gatorade, you know. You know, got to replenish the electrolytes when I'm done. I don't have to do that walking up 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, it would have helped if they had explained who walking up 2 flights of stairs. Is it the same person walking up 2 flights of stairs? Or are we talking about some fat fuck who hasn't moved in the past 3 years walking up 2 flights of stairs?
Apparently, they're saying sexually active asthmatics can suffer from postcoital asthma exacerbation if things get a little too rowdy under the sheets, according to the study.
Yeah, they can be set up by any physical activity.
Let's see. Much like exercise-induced asthma, sexual intercourse can also trigger asthma exacerbations. Oh, okay, see, I thought this was the study. This is just another article. That's... Damn you, New York Post. I thought you were linking to the actual study.
Okay, you just reminded me of something fucking hilarious that I saw a while ago. I saw an article about a study that was about how female authors in science are cited far less frequently than male authors, which I found fucking hilarious because, let me not spoil that quite yet. I'll get to that after I explain what set me off laughing. So, the article was talking about how this new study had demonstrated this, and it mentioned the author's name in full in the article. So they had a link that looked like it was going to the author's article, to their scientific study, and I clicked on it, and it's another press release for the same article. The part that made me fucking die was it was a female author's name. So in the press release for her new journal, she didn't have them fucking link to her journal entry. So she had 2 articles about this journal entry saying female authors don't get cited that didn't cite her in either fucking article. What the fuck? That is comedy gold. But the thing that made me annoyed with this, not just laughing at this, is do you guys know the common way that you write your name when it comes to the author of a scientific paper?
Nope.
So if I was going to use my screen name with the surname that I have on that screen name, it would be Mathghamhain, comma, S, period. So if it's Mathghamhain, comma, S, period would be the way that my paper would have my name listed and published. Are you able to tell if that's a male name, a female name, even anything about the name other than the first initial is fucking S? The clear answer is no. Scientific papers have, for the past, goddamn century, had that standard practice when it comes to typing out the person's name. So the only way that people would be actively selecting away from citing female authors is if they knew the author, they knew what gender they were, and they were actively deciding, no, I'm not going to cite this one. Which, that seems like there's a vanishingly few number of people that you would be able to do that with. So, call out those dickheads directly if you think that's what's happening. But the thing that made it even better is I actually have written papers before. You don't give a shit where the fuck the paper came from, who the fuck wrote the paper. All you care about is the paper legitimate? And if it is legitimate, is it about the subject that you're trying to write your paper on? Because if it's about the subject that you're trying to write your paper on, and it's legitimately done, you will cite that motherfucker. It does not matter the age, it does not matter where it's from, it does not matter a goddamn thing as long as it seems legitimately done and pertinent. So the reason why they aren't getting cited as often is because their papers aren't as important. And then one of the articles that was writing this up even admitted this without admitting it. Because what they said was that if you look at the number of foundational papers within different fields, they are overwhelmingly penned by men. Foundational papers means really fucking important papers. So when you're looking at a paper within a field, pretty much every paper within that field will be citing foundational papers within that field as part of their citations. So they admit in that paper that's writing up this article, this scientific study with fucking massive air quotes around it, that they didn't bother actually citing, that was written by a female author, that female authors are less likely to do really important research, therefore they're less likely to be cited, but they did without realizing that that's what they just fucking admitted, and they were still trying to say, yeah, it's because men are sexist. Fuck you! No, it's not. It's because you weren't doing the same quality of research. If you want to be cited, do important research. If you don't want to be cited, don't do important research. Get fucked.
You're here. Sanguine just slapped someone from across the table.
Yep. I went to deal with the person who I just saw was doing bot shit.
Well done on the bot shit, by the way. But I unfortunately am going to have to call it because I am starting to feel some pain.
Starting to flag.
Gotta go get the bag of peas.
Bag of peas and some painkillers. We are going to have to call that. Go with parting thoughts, Sanguine.
I'll sign off with my standard. If you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
And Travis?
Pee is not actually stored in the balls.
Lies.
And Dax, we'll go with you.
Parting thoughts. Riley Reed.
She actually has thoughts.
Slightly different definition.
She is a thought.
And Camel?
Always make sure to take care of your backup singers and keep a bag of frozen peas in your refrigerator.
They were in my freezer, and I was using them at the start of the stream.
Well, I mean, redundancy is your friend. 2 is 1, 1 is none.
But yeah, I think I actually need the pills. But for that, I will say...
Hey, Sanguine, how much longer do you think we can keep him going?
Not very.
Depends on how much
I
we
will
distract
shut this
it.
shit down.
Honestly, I think we could probably just push it out a little bit longer.
I mean, I think we could stretch at least another 30 minutes. What do you think, Sanguine?
Yeah, if we are able to get him distracted enough and we're able to get him talking on something, absolutely.
Yeah, good luck with that, because I am hitting the stop button in about 10 seconds. But with that, the zoo is closed. No. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, all.
Later, everybody.
Adios.